The human stands alone at the edge of the settlement, where fields once fed families, and roads once carried trucks and laughter. Now the land is quiet and stripped bare by evacuation, and fear buildings lean with broken walls and open windows. Like empty eyes, the sky hangs low and pale, and the air smells of dust and old smoke. He does not move when the alien scouts appear on the ridge. Tall shapes with smooth armor and glowing markings step into view, their voices carry across the open ground. Filled with sharp sounds and mocking tones, they point at the human, and at the rifle in his hands. They laugh because they believe time itself has defeated him. The rifle is an M for plain and worn, the metal is scratched and the grip is darkened. By years of use, it is not new and it does not shine. It has been cleaned in rain and sand and darkness. It has been trusted when nothing else worked. The human breathes slowly. He keeps his feet planted and his shoulders loose. He feels the weight of the rifle and the familiar balance against his body. This place reminds him of others like it. Villages, outposts, checkpoints, forgotten roads. Places where survival depended on attention and patience. The aliens move closer without caution. They spread out carelessly, confident in armor and numbers. They believe fear will freeze the human in place. They believe technology decides every battle. They do not see how his eyes move. They do not notice how he measures distance and cover wind passes. Through the broken structures, loose metal shifts and scrapes softly. A sign falls and hits the ground behind him. He does not turn. Every sound is already counted and placed. He thinks of training fields and long days under the sun, of commands repeated, until they became instinctive drills that punished hesitation and rewarded calm. There is no anger in him now, only readiness. The aliens stop and continue to mock. They lift weapons but do not aim. They want fear and submission. What they face instead is stillness. The settlement holds its breath. The moment stretches thin. This is where the story begins. Before noise, before movement, before fire, when belief and arrogance stand opposite, preparation and resolve. Human does not answer the mockery. Silence has always been part of his training. He learned early that noise wastes breath and breath means life. Years of service shaped him long before this moment. Not in glory, but in repetition. He remembers waking before dawn when the ground was cold and unforgiving, running with weight cutting into his shoulders until pain became background. Learning how to breathe while moving, how to see while tired, how to think while afraid. None of it was meant to be impressive. It was meant to work. The emperor rests naturally in his hands. He does not admire it or doubt it. He knows the feel of every worn edge. He knows how it behaves when hot, when dirty, when wet. Trust like this is built slowly over time, not granted by technology. The aliens watch and laugh, unaware of what calm really means. They mistake stillness for weakness. They have never needed patience. Their wars are decided by overwhelming force. They do not understand restraint. The human studies them the way he was taught. Count, movement, note, rhythm, observe spacing. Armor plates reflect light and create blind angles. Energy weapons hum and give away position. Nothing here is unfamiliar. Once broken down, he shifts his weight slightly, not to prepare to flee but to prepare to move. Muscle memory responds without thought. This is the difference between learning and knowing. Between theory and survival. He thinks briefly of people whose names are etched into memory, friends lost, to moments like this, places where confidence turned into disaster. Those lessons remain heavier than the rifle. The wind changes. Dust drifts across the field. Visibility narrows and shapes blur at distance. The environment begins to favor the one who notices. The aliens step forward again, still, careless, still amused. They believe the story is already written. They do not realize they are stepping into the second chapter, where training begins to matter, and arrogance begins to cost. The aliens advance with open confidence, spreading across the field in uneven lines. Their armor glows softly, as if designed to be admired rather than tested. They move like spectators at a show, not soldiers entering danger. Each step carries certainty that nothing here can challenge them. They speak loudly to one another, voices layered with amusement. Some gesture toward the rifle, others mimic recoil and laugh. To them the weapon belongs to a forgotten age. They believe progress erased the threat it once posed. The human watches without reaction. His face remains neutral, his breathing slow. Inside his focus tightens. Every alien movement feeds his awareness. Their spacing grows wider than it should. Their attention drifts away from coordination. One alien steps ahead of the others, lifting its weapon high. It makes a show of power, turning slightly to display armor plating. The plates overlap beautifully but leave small gaps. Design choices made for ceremony rather than survival. Another alien circles to the side, careless feet crushing debris. The sound carries clearly across the open space. The human marks the direction instantly. Noise always reveals intention. They do not take cover. They do not scan the upper floors of damaged buildings. They ignore shadows and broken walls. They assume fear has already won. The human remembers instructors who warned about moments like this, about enemies who talk too much, about the danger of underestimating quiet opposition. Those lessons were paid for with blood. He lowers his center of gravity slightly, not enough to draw attention, just enough to be ready. His hands adjust by instinct. The rifle aligns with his body as naturally as breath. The aliens close the distance, still mocking, still relaxed. One throws a small object into the dirt, laughing. As it bounces, they believe control belongs to them. The air feels heavier now, not with fear but with anticipation. The human senses the narrowing of time, that invisible line where observation ends and action begins for the first time. Uncertainty flickers among a few aliens, not fear yet but confusion. The human has not begged or fled. He has not reacted at all. They hesitate only for a heartbeat, then continue forward, dismissing instinct. Arrogance pushes them on. They do not realize they have given away everything. Distance, angles, rhythm, confidence, all measured, all noted. The mockery continues, but it sounds thinner now, as if the land itself has begun to doubt them. The human lets his gaze drift across the settlement one last time. Broken walls create channels, collapsed roofs form shadowed pockets. A burned vehicle rests at an angle, offering solid cover. This place is not empty, it is full of options. He measures distance without numbers. Steps become instinct, angles become opportunity. The ground dips slightly near the road. A drainage trench cuts through the field, half hidden by debris movement. Here would be mast. The wind shifts again, pushing dust low across the surface. Visibility drops just enough to blur fine detail. The human welcomes it. Obscurity favors preparation. The aliens continue forward, unaware of how the terrain reshapes their advantage. Their armor catches light and reflects it outward. Each glow becomes a marker. Each movement announces itself. A loose panel rattles in the wind. The sound pulls alien attention away from the human. They turn their heads briefly. That moment is noted. The human adjusts his stance, using the uneven ground. His boots find grip among broken concrete, and soil balance is everything. Stability before motion. He thinks of clearing drills practiced endlessly, of instructors who forced repetition until it became reflex. There's no rush. Speed comes from certainty. The settlement feels closer now, as if the ruins themselves lean inward. Dust swirls between structures. Shadows stretch across open ground. The aliens pause again. Mockery slows. Their confidence begins to fray at the edges. They sense change without understanding. If the human exhales slowly, the rifle rests steady against his shoulder. This is the space between choice and consequence. The environment has been read. The enemy has revealed itself. The moment is ready. The battle has not begun, but it is no longer avoidable. The human knows now that no signal will come, no extraction, no sudden support. The silence in his earpiece confirms it. He is alone by circumstance, not by weakness. He feels the weight of responsibility settle deeper than fear. This moment will be shaped by his decisions. Retreat would invite pursuit, surrender would invite destruction. Only action offers control. He remembers moments when hesitation cost lives, seconds lost to doubt, movements delayed by hope for rescue. Those memories sharpen his resolve. The aliens wait, still confident, still careless. They expect the human to break. They believe endurance belongs only to the advanced. They are wrong. The human shifts fully into readiness. Thought gives way to intent. Training tightens around instinct. Every sense aligns. He does not feel anger. He does not feel heroism. He feels clarity. Dust hangs low. Wind holds its breath. The settlement stands frozen. This is not about proving anything. It is about survival and stopping what will come next. The human tightens his grip. The rifle becomes an extension of will. The line has been crossed. The next moment will belong to action. The first shot breaks the silence before the aliens can react. It is precise, controlled, and deliberate. The rifle recoils lightly against the human shoulder. Dust and debris scatter with the impact. One alien stumbles, caught off guard. Confusion flashes across the others' faces. They expected hesitation or panic, not calm execution. The laughter dies abruptly. Mockery falters and is replaced with sharp murmurs. They glance at one another, unsure of what just happened. The human moves without pause. His feet slide across rubble, finding stability. He fires again, adjusting aim instinctively, each shot measured, not hurried. He chooses targets that disrupt formation. The largest, the closest, the most dangerous. First, chaos begins to ripple through alien ranks. The aliens respond with sudden aggression, energy weapons, flare and hum shots, miss or strike empty ground. Their surprise has fractured coordination. They try to adapt, but their movements betray them. They glance repeatedly toward one another, searching for leadership. The human does not pause. He ducks behind a fallen wall. He rolls to a lower angle. He uses shadow and cover to his advantage. Each movement fluid, each reaction calculated. His heart rate rises, but his mind remains steady. Adrenaline sharpens senses without overtaking judgments. The aliens begin to spread out, trying to flank. They assume numbers will overwhelm skill. They do not account for timing. Every position they expose. He notes every step they take is predicted by observation and instinct. One alien fires too early. The shot sparks against debris. The human counters immediately. The alien falls forward. Others hesitate. Confidence wavers. The battlefield becomes a rhythm of motion and stillness. Shots echo across broken streets. Dust rises in waves. Smoke curls from scorched metal. The human moves silently within this storm. Each action intentional, each decision life or death. The aliens realize mockery will not save them. They begin to recognize danger. The human has changed the rules, not through power, not through technology, but through preparation, patience, and relentless focus. The first blood has been drawn. The balance has shifted. The human stands steady while chaos encroaches. The battle has begun. The fight intensifies. As the human adapts to every alien movement, he moves constantly from cover to cover, low walls, broken vehicles, shadowed corners. Each step calculated to avoid exposure, each pause used to observe and predict. The aliens push forward cautiously now. Their arrogance, tempered by uncertainty, they attempt coordinated attacks. But missteps pile quickly. One advances too far and is forced back by precise fire. Another hesitates and is pinned by shadow and angles. The human reloads with practiced efficiency. No panic, no wasted motion, each round accounted for, each shot deliberate. He uses the terrain to funnel opponents into disadvantageous positions. A fallen sign becomes shield, a trench becomes path. He exploits every detail unnoticed by the aliens. Range clashes erupt. The human rolls from cover to cover. Strikes calculated to distract and disable. Not reckless aggression but controlled disruption. The aliens grow frustrated, their movements more predictable. As fear creeps in, they begin to overcome. Human feels the rhythm of battle, pulse steady eyes, scanning hands, responding before thought completes. Muscle memory and strategy fuse into one seamless motion. Every action has consequence, and he respects it. Some aliens fall to his accuracy, others retreat briefly, then return, cautiously. Confidence replaced by tension. They begin to doubt their superiority. They begin to recognize skill that cannot be matched by equipment alone. The battlefield narrows into a dance of shadows, movement, and sound. The human is always aware, always ready. He does not tire. He cannot afford to. Each choice decides survival or defeat. The aliens realize too late that mockery has failed. They face a human who moves as though the chaos itself bends to calculation. The fight is no longer a game. It is a test of endurance, resolve, and experience. The air is thick with smoke and dust. The scent of scorched metal and scorched earth mixes with sweat and fatigue. The human feels the weight of every movement in his muscles. Every heartbeat echoes through his chest. Pain scratches at him from bruises and scrapes, but it does not slow him. The aliens have lost coordination. Some retreat to regroup, some hesitate in open ground. The human notes every weakness, every exposed flank. Every mistake is opportunity. Every hesitation is leverage. Exhaustion presses against him, but he does not falter. Muscles burn and joints ache, yet training and resolve push him forward. He moves with precision through chaos. Every shot, calculated every step, measured every breath, controlled. The aliens begin to understand that numbers and technology cannot replace judgment. They glance at each other, searching for direction. Their voices are sharper now, edged with frustration. Fear creeps into movements once bold. They glance at the human and see not weakness but relentless skill. The battlefield is littered with debris and fallen combatants. The ground is uneven, scarred, and dangerous. The human uses it all. Shadows provide concealment. Broken walls provide cover. Even a small dent in metal or a loose panel becomes advantage. The weight of reality presses on him. This is not a simulation, this is not glory, this is survival. Every decision carries consequences, every error could be fatal. The human pauses briefly behind covers, sweat drips into his eyes, he wipes it away, and breathes. Pain is acknowledged but not indulged. His mind stays clear, his focus remains unbroken. The aliens falter again, their coordination collapses. They begin to retreat with wounded pride, some fall back unwillingly, others are forced to abandon ground. The human stands among ruined structures, exhausted and marked by battle. He surveys the scene. The silence, after the chaos, is thick. The victory is not celebrated, it is measured in survival and the cost paid. The human understands the price of conflict and carries it quietly. Experience, endurance, and resolve have shifted the impossible odds in his favor. The battlefield lies quiet after the chaos. Smoke rises in thin spirals from scorched earth and broken machinery. The human moves slowly among the ruins, every step cautious, not from fear but from habit, every movement deliberate. The aliens have retreated, their confidence shattered, their arrogance replaced by caution and confusion. Some linger at the edge of sight, watching, too wary to advance, too humiliated to mock. The human surveys, the field bodies lie, scattered debris litters the ground, buildings are scarred by the exchange of fire. The silence is heavy but not empty, it carries the weight of what has passed. Pain tugs at his muscles, bruises and cuts remind him that survival is never without cost. His rifle rests ready in his hands. The weapon is not celebrated, it is a tool trusted and used with skill. He thinks briefly of what could have happened, of mistakes avoided, of lessons learned too late by others. He feels no triumph, only clarity. The wind moves dust across the battlefield, shadows stretch long, the sun dips low, time presses forward. The human understands the moment. He survived, not by luck or superior technology. He survived by training, resolve, and focus. He adapted, he anticipated, he endured. The aliens are gone for now, the ground bears witness. Silence replaces mockery, stillness replaces chaos. The human remains standing, marked by battle, but unbroken. The settlement is quiet, but no longer hopeless. The impossible has been challenged, the odds have shifted. And the human has proven that preparation, skill, and determination can outmatch arrogance and force.